Good day, UMS 11A students. I'm Sir Jeffrey Delphine, and I will be your teacher in oral communication in context. I hope that you are all fine as of this moment because it's another productive day ahead of us. Before we start with the lesson, let me check your attendance. Justin, our class secretary, who is absent today. Oh, wow! That's good to know that you are all present today. While we are inside the online platform, be reminded of the following house rules. Number one, students must be online and present on the online platform 5 minutes before the scheduled time of the class. Number two, mute your microphone while listening to the teacher. Number three, pay attention to the instructions given by the teacher. Now, let us have the learning competencies of today's lesson. Number one, identify the functions of communication. And number two, perform an activity that will explain more the functions of communication. So these are the objectives that you have to attain today. Now, let us have a quick review of our previous lesson. I have here some questions for you to answer. It is known as the source of information. So what is your answer? If your answer is speaker, then you are correct. Next question. The information, ideas, or thoughts conveyed by the speaker in words or in action. So what do you think is the answer? If your answer is message, that is awesome. Next question. It is the medium or the means, such as personal or non-personal, verbal or non-verbal, in which the encoded message is conveyed. What is your answer? If your answer is channel, then you are amazing. Next question. It is the recipient of the message or someone who decodes the message. What do you think is the answer? If your answer is receiver, totally awesome. Indeed, you have learned a lot from the previous lesson. At this point, I have another activity that will lead us to the topic for today. The title of the activity is Let's Solve the Puzzle. You are going to supply the missing letters inside the boxes based from the description of each word. Let us start. It is the power to influence people or direct people's behavior or the course of events. Any guess, class? What do you think is the answer? If your answer is control, then you nailed it. Next puzzle. It is the way we talk and act with each other. Tough one, I guess. So, what's your answer for this question? If your answer is social interaction, then you've got it. Moving on to the next puzzle. It facilitates people's expression of their feelings and emotions. Any wild guess for this puzzle? If your answer is emotional expression, then that's very good. Let's move on to the next puzzle. It is to persuade or try to persuade another person to change his opinion, attitude, and behavior. Looks so easy to answer. If your answer is motivation, then you are awesome. Let's move on to the last puzzle. It is to distribute or broadcast information. Looks hard. What do you think is the answer? If your answer is information dissemination, then your answer is correct. Congratulations for solving the puzzle. Now, based from the recent activity, what do you think is the topic for today? Anyone? If you are thinking that the topic is all about functions of communication, then that is correct. Before we identify the functions of communication, let me give the definition of functions of communication. Functions of communication refer to how people use language for different purposes, also refers how language is affected by different time, place, and situation, used to control the behavior of people, used to regulate the nature and amount of activities people engage in. So, what are the functions of communication? First is control. Control is communication functions to control behavior. Examples of control function. Number one, take your medicine 3 times a day. Number two, wash the dishes now, or else I won't allow you to go to the party later. Next is social interaction. Communication allows individual to interact with other. Examples of social interaction. Number one says, mom to get her attention. And number two, hi or waves to neighbor. Next is motivation. Motivation is communication motivates or encourages people to live better. Examples of motivation function. One, I know you can do it. Number two, I must trim down my weight for her. Another one is emotional expression, wherein communication facilitates people's expression of their feelings and emotion. Examples of emotional expression function. Number one, I'm so glad that you came into my life. Number two, I would like to extend my deepest sympathy for your loss. And the last one is information dissemination, wherein communication functions to convey information. Examples of information dissemination function. Number one, you can find the bathroom right next to this door. Number two, the submission of your projects will be on Tuesday. Now, you will have a group activity. So you're going to form 5 groups with 12 members, and each group will perform a 5-minute skit using the functions of communication. You will be given 10 minutes to write your script and to rehearse for your performance. But before that, let me give first the rubric for evaluation. So this is the rubric for evaluation. Relevance to the theme or topic is 40%. Content is 50%. Mastery is 10%. A total of 100%. Thank you very much for your wonderful performances. Now, I would like to know if you have learned a lot from our lesson today. Here is a 10-item quiz. Bring out one for sheet of paper. Write your name, grade, and section. But before you start answering, let me read the direction first. Read the following statements. Identify the functions of communication that are being described. Number one, it is a function of communication that conveys information. Number two, it is a function of communication that facilitates people's expression of their feelings and emotion. Number three, it is a function of communication that motivates or encourages people to live better. Number four, it is a function of communication that allows individual to interact with others. Number five, it is a function of communication that controls behavior. Number six, it facilitates people's expression of their feelings and emotions. Number seven, it is the power to influence people or direct people's behavior or the course of events. Number eight, it is to persuade or try to persuade another person to change his opinion, attitude, and behavior. Number nine, it is to distribute or broadcast information. And number 10, it is the way we talk and act with each other. Amazingly, that all of you passed the quiz. Keep up the good work. For your assignment, search and read articles about models of communication in the internet. So that will be all for today. I'm looking forward to see you next meeting. Bye bye.